In my career in media, I've interviewed hundreds of people, and they run the gamut from well-known to little-known, from true serious interviews to real character interviews that were just fun and entertaining and in their own way uplifting. But though there are many stories that I can pull from, there are actually two stories for this particular project I want to share with you. And both of them happened when I was on a plane. And I would think that maybe just thinking as a journalist or being open to discussing something with a person seated next to me, maybe that's what led to these. But these weren't stories that I was assigned to, and they weren't projects I was working on. These just happened to happen. So the first one occurred on a plane trip. I was seated next to an economist, and I was discussing all kinds of things with him. I minored in econ, so I was interested in what he had to say, but there is one case study he shared with me I will never forget. He said, there's been a study about comparative psychology and how it plays into how we interact with each other, how we move in the world. So I was really interested at that setup. He said there's a study done of people who were offered option A or option B. Option A is you are making $50,000 a year, and everybody else is making $25,000 a year. Okay, option A sounds pretty good. Option B is you're making twice that. You are making $100,000 a year, but everybody else is making $250,000. Now, assuming everything else is exactly the same, the cost of butter is exactly the same. Prices don't change because of your correlation to them. You can get and acquire and purchase all the things that you would normally purchase right this minute. So all the other things that are in place now are still in place. The only difference being the comparative amounts that other people are making. They would rather make half the amount of money than make less than everybody else. So this was huge for me. This really opened up and parted for me the clouds. I thought, if that's really the way the majority of people operate in life, and that is to be comparative and to, hey, I wonder how they're doing. How are they holding up against me? Then I found that completely eye-opening, and it helped inform for me why people do some of the things they do. I'll be perfectly frank with you. I've never been a comparative person because I really like what I'm doing. And I know that's hard to believe, but I think it's pretty simple. When you're doing exactly what you want to be doing, it doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. And so I feel that was such an important insight that to me had nothing to do with economics. I thought it was a really great insight for me to understand people socially, professionally, and in every other way. And that all happened on a plane ride.